Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Friday, the 18th of November, comes to you from London. And just when you thought the US dollar couldn't go any higher, we've had another big move up this morning, now through the 101 level, taking us very close to this all-time, well, this 2015 high. So basically, the dollar is just rocketing really, and we're seeing that here with all of these upside targets activated. We really are now very close to these targets. There was one given at 103.43. That was given back in June, and we're now getting more on that target. So really interesting that we're seeing that dollar strength really kicking in, and that is really dominating a lot of markets at the moment. And we're then seeing, of course, the euro falling away. 105.91 this morning. We're below the 106 level. We shouldn't be too surprised by that. We've been seeing these downside targets and a lot of intermediate downside targets, 102, 103. So the euro is now falling away, much as we predicted. So it's really all about dollar strength and consequently euro weakness. And if we look at the Japanese yen as a proxy for the dollar, we're seeing this strong move here from 102 to 110, several percentage point move in the last few weeks. So really strong dollar now showing through, and that is the theme we're seeing. Sterling is actually has fared better against the dollar, and that's been quite interesting. We've seen that in sterling, and if we look at the 60-minute chart on euro sterling, we're seeing again that sterling is increasing against the euro as well. So that is kicking in. If we look at sterling Swiss, we see sterling strength showing through here. Targets of 128, we're at about 125.40 at the moment, so targets of 128, we're seeing upside there, short-term recovery just coming through on the cloud as well. So sterling is actually showing some recovery, and we're seeing that again against the Australian dollar, up several percent as well. So it's really about US dollar strength, sterling looking stronger, just recovering against most of the other currencies, and we're really seeing euro weakness. If we look at the S&P 500, we closed above the magic 2180 level last night. This was resistance through the summer, and so for the first time in months, we are actually above this 2180, and it's not enough of a move for us to feel confident that we've broken out, but it really is a very good start. We've got upside targets here now in the short term to 2222. Bigger targets on the medium and long term charts, 2700. You had good 20% upside of the market. So it looks like equity markets are now through the worst and starting to run. So that's really good news. It'll be interesting to see how we end the week today in the US. We take a look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq struggled a bit more than the S&P 500. We're not quite through yet. We're through on the 60-minute chart. And we look at the targets over here. We're just about to activate a new upside target of 7% on the short-term chart. So we are just seeing an improvement there in the Nasdaq. The futures this morning down very slightly, so hard to call the market from anything there. Looking at the FTSE 100, not really just not getting up at all at the moment, and that is probably to do with the stronger sterling. FTSE really rocketed on the weak sterling, meaning that earnings for UK companies would increase, and the FTSE 100 is very heavily internationally laden companies. We're seeing that playing through now with sterling getting a little bit of strength back. We are just struggling to hold on to any gains, and we're just really until we get above the 7,000 level on FTSE, it's too difficult to say that FTSE's going to move. We are encouraged by the upturn in the US markets, so you'd have to hope that that will start to drive the FTSE as well. FTSE 250 down a little bit this morning as well. Very similar picture. A bit more bullish than the 100 above the clouds. Less currency effect there. But interestingly, we're still not really running at all. Taking a look at the Nasdaq, the Nasdaq, the Zetra just breaking through here. We just really are struggling at these levels. 10,800 is the level we need to break. So we need to just see that. This, of course, is all coming from DTN IQ feed this data this morning, and we see here the Nikkei just again bit of a strong week, just can't get through on that weekly cloud, but on the daily and 60-minute looking quite bullish. Taking a look at commodities, we start with Brent. Brent crude oil falling away again. We're above this $45 level, which is pretty critical, but we are below the cloud here, so that is quite significant. So interestingly, there, crude oil on WTI, much the same picture, and we're seeing downside potential here of about 5%. This is a time of year where crude typically does fall. We saw that last year, we saw it the year before, so we shouldn't be surprised to see crude oil falling away. US nat gas just holding on to this level at the moment, but it's really just in the doldrums at these sort of 280s. 271 this morning. Just can't break through on this weekly cloud. 4 bad weeks here, just showing in a row, and that shows through on the daily chart. So we just couldn't hold on to those price gains. We've fallen a whole dollar in the last several weeks, so really significant there. Wheat up quite strongly this morning. Big jump there on the price, and 10% upside on wheat. So we are seeing quite interesting moves there. Not showing through on many other futures. Corn is actually up a little bit as well, up 2%. So we're just seeing quite a strong move there through the cloud, just coming through on the daily. So wheat and corn, softs looking quite good. Coffee has been one that's been running lately, but just falling away as well. If we take a look at gold, falling off again this morning, just can't get through on this cloud. We're seeing here weakness in the gold price, strong dollar having an effect there, of course. And if we look at silver, much the same picture, downside potential here of about 5%. So not looking great there. The 10-year government bond in the US holding on to this 220 level. Really, this is the beginning of a big change. So we're seeing here the change in US interest rates kicking through. Just to look at some tech stocks, still below the cloud. Quite some strong showings last night, but we're still below the cloud on most of these tech stocks. Nvidia being the exception of the rule, that's been an amazing stock. And then if we look at Facebook, just putting in some recovery targets here, but still just not quite through the cloud. And then Microsoft, much the same picture. It's all about this dollar strength. Keep an eye on that today, euro weakness, and watch for the S&P 500. Maybe we'll just break through 2220 today, 2200 today, and that would be the real signs that we're in a new bull market post-election. So just keep an eye on that S&P chart. Can we put in a strong showing this for the end of the week, and have ourselves signs that we're really going to run? That's it for today. Until Monday, happy charting. See you then.